If you have even been a casual follower of the political scene over the course of the last few decades, whether it is following social media or podcasts or letters to the editor or the commentaries on your favorite news network, you would have to come to the conclusion that we are but sheep being led to the slaughter. It matters little which political party is in power. The commentary seems to read the same. We are on a slippery slope leading to perdition. Communism or fascism or your ism of choice. It matters little. It's very interesting to put this kind of commentary about political leadership up against the biblical tweets about political leadership. It seems for the Bible, there are two criteria for good leadership. The first is that you have to know your sheep by name. And second, that you are willing to lay down your life for said sheep. If those are the true measure of appropriate political leadership, then we have been ruled by nothing but hirelings at all levels of government. For one cannot escape the fact that most of them are in it for themselves and not for the sake of the sheep. This is not a new problem. From the time of David, when he wrote the 23rd Psalm, which is in essence the role model or the political platform of a good shepherd, the kings that followed struggled to adhere to that dictum. For a good shepherd provides all that the sheep need and gives them safety. And the track record of the kings of Israel is not real positive along that regard. Oh, there are some exemplary kings at times, but they rarely last long. And then they are replaced with one worse than the last worst one. And so as we reach the time of the exile in Babylon, God intervenes in a very uncharacteristic way. God announces that from here on in, God will be the shepherd of his people. Because all the kings have managed to do is to scatter the sheep. It will be God who will gather them together again and care for them. It is this understanding, then, that we catch in the Gospels when the Gospel writers talk about Jesus. Jesus will be the one that goes out and searches for the one lost sheep, even at the detriment of the 99 that are left behind. It is this shepherd that will gather his flock in his arms. It will be the culmination of this understanding of shepherd that John picks up in his 10th chapter when he talks about Jesus as the model shepherd. A shepherd who knows his sheep, calls them by name, and is willing to lay down his life for the sake of the sheep. On the cross, Jesus becomes the ultimate leader. It's a strange understanding that Jesus' political throne is an instrument of death for political prisoners. And yet that's the irony of God, never doing it our way. It is there on the cross that Jesus demonstrates true power and true love for the sake of his sheep. It is that Jesus that continues to gather us, call us, provide for us. In the cool waters of our baptism, as he sets a table before us in the presence of this crazy world we live in. It is this Jesus that will lead us through the darkest of valleys, like COVID, or the political upheaval we've been through, and bring us safely to the other side. Will protect us with his rod and his staff, and we will dwell with him forever. With such a shepherd, one has to wonder why we spend so much time grousing about the political leadership we have inherited. As one very wise woman reminded me when I was complaining about a political leader not recently, she said, "I don't get it. You're a man of faith. Haven't you read the Bible? Don't you know that God can raise up kings and take them down at will?" God is our shepherd, and we shall not want, for he shall lead us, for he shall call us by name, mark us with his cross, claim us as his own, and care for us forever. The King of love my shepherd is, whose goodness faileth never. I nothing lack if I am his, and he is mine forever. Where streams of living waters flow, my ransomed soul he leadeth, and where the verdant pastures grow, with food celestial feedeth. Perverse and foolish oft I strayed, but yet in love he sought me, and on his shoulder gently laid, and home rejoicing brought me. In death's dark vale I fear no ill, with thee, dear Lord, beside me. Thy rod and staff my comfort still, thy cross before to guide me. Thou spreadst a table in my sight, thine unction grace bestoweth, and oh, what transport of delight from thy pure chalice floweth. And so through all the length of days thy goodness faileth never. Good Shepherd, may I sing thy praise within thy house forever.